Okay, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Umar Khayyam. I am from section 1, and this is my alternative assessment before, which is a high fidelity mockup prototype. My metric number is A20EC4055. I am from team 4, and our group name is named Quad Squad. So let's start. So I will begin with the introduction of our system. Basically, in this document, the SRS is describing the requirements for the development of the Mindcare Center. This SRS also outlines the requirements for Mindcare Center's development. Primary goal of this system requirement specification documentation is to provide a complete description of the Mindcare Center customer relationship system based on functional and non-functional requirements relating to new customer registration by Mindcare Center staff. It will also clarify the system's goal and features, as well as how the system will respond to the input and the system interfaces. This document is created for Muhammad Noor Khafiz, who is a stakeholder of one of the system as the audience. Okay, this right here is the entire use case diagram. We have a total of 9. We have a total of 9 use case. We have a total of 9 use case diagrams here. Basically, there's a pre-registration use case, which the users can do. Then there is a registration where they will sign up to the system. There's a book appointment slot where the user will go to the appointment section and book an appointment slot. Use case 4 is where the user asks questions. These questions are basically asked to the chatbot, and user case UC004 and UC09, which is chatbot provide answers, are both actually related because the chatbot is actually asking questions to the chatbot system and the chatbot is providing answers to the users. UC005 is admin managed customers. Basically, the admin is managing all the registered customers within the system. The admin also manages therapists. Basically, he can add or add and edit the therapist within the system. UC007 is the therapist update weekly schedule. Basically, here the therapist is updating his schedule weekly, and this weekly schedule is in turn translated as appointment slots for the user. The therapist also manage appointment. Basically, there are multiple type of appointments here. There is a new appointment and there is a follow-up appointment. So he can also manage that. And chatbot provide answers is again for the questions that are asked by the user. He will provide the chatbot will provide the answers to it. Okay, so this is the use case 004, where the user asks questions. This is my part in this system. Basically, in this use case, the customer is asking questions, and there are just one precondition, that is the customer has already signed up for the account, signed up for an account, or this use case also describes how can question ask the system to the chatbot system. So this is the normal flow. The customer should basically go to the chatbot page in order to ask questions, and the customer will ask questions about the inquiries. System will respond to its questions from its pre-recorded answers. There's an alternate flow. Basically, there's a human takeover for, let's say, if the inquiry does not concern the chatbot scope, the customer will be informed about a human assistance takeover. And there's an exception, basically for the wrong inquiry. The user can basically ask, like it can just go to a new inquiry if he is not satisfied with the inquiry that he presented first. So the normal flow will be basically executed once again. Users will again once everything is completed, users will be asked to leave a rating and a review after the inquiry process is basically complete. Okay, so this is the activity diagram for the use case. Basically here we are starting, and the GUI to reach the basically the user will follow the GUI and reach the chatbot system. He will then ask questions, and if the questions are within scope, it will basically provide or guide the users, whatever it is, depending on the question. If the answer is not within the scope of the chatbot system, then it will request a human assistant. Again, human assistance, if he or she does not, if the user basically does not require a human assistant, the chatbot will basically end the conversation there, or a new inquiry will start. Or if there is a human counterpart needed, he will basically the system will basically hand over to the human assistant, and all of it will lead to the end. Okay, so this is my self-reflection for this course. The course requirement in engineering and software modeling basically gave me a proper understanding of conducting and requirements engineering processes for various domains of application system using appropriate techniques based on this defined documentation and specification guidelines using in-depth coverage of the requirements elicitation approaches, requirement specification using text or model-based techniques, requirements validation and negotiation, and requirements management basically help me to finish my project. As a result of this course, I can basically apply the appropriate requirements engineering techniques on the numerous components of software system that basically depends on standardized documentation and design specification. In consideration of the topics logs, I was able to make a high fidelity prototype using the use case that we basically made as a team. In this section, basically, I was quite responsible for creating the interface for the identify use case in our phase 3 project. To deliver hi-fi prototype, I implemented data flow and requirements in the use case. This area tremendously supported me in the design of the prototype as well as the live display of our project. Creation of high fidelity mock-up prototype has a substantial impact on the learning of major concepts and theories of RSM course. Because of this, I have a total understanding of the course, and I can basically do the SDLC more efficiently. Okay, so this is, we will go to the prototype demo. So once the user has followed the GUI, he will be landed on this page, okay, where it will prompt the user to click this and basically start the session, the chatbot session. So the question will basically ask, the chatbot will ask the user what sort of help it needs, and the user can respond to anything basically. Here the user is requiring, okay, here the user is asking about to inquire about the estimated cost of each services. So if we press this, so this is actually not within the scope. So he will basically ask for a human counterpart. And then if he says yes, then it's connecting to a human part, and then the connection becomes successful. Let me just go back. Yeah, okay. So now this is for the, if for, again, when there's a new query here, the customer is asking for another service. Basically, he's just asking about the Mindcare services. So here, the chatbot will basically list down all the services that is actually available. And the question, the chatbot will prompt to ask the user if he or she wants to register to one of the services. So if you press yes, you will have to enter the details, and then a little instruction is given here. Basically, all the proper format to basically write. If you should use only space if required, and it should be separated by a comma. So let's say we put all the requirements here. Once that is done, the chatbot will say that the requirements, that the request has been successfully submitted, and the system and the Mindcare, the people at Mindcare will basically contact them and basically confirm about their registration part. So after that, he can the user can leave a review for improving the chatbot system, or they could start a new query which if you press here, it will just go here again. Okay, there's one more part I would like to show you guys. So here, if say if the user does not want to register, he basically, if he presses no, it will basically start a new query, and the normal flow is basically repeated all over again. So yeah, that's the part. Again, okay. So this is the conclusion. We have reached to the end of our prototype and the presentation. This project was a really good experience for me. Basically, it taught me a lot of things from this alternative assessment alone. We had several tasks. Basically, one, we had to create a creative presentation, and we also had to explain the group project as a whole that we have been working on throughout the semester. We also had to develop a prototype for the system interface, or a part of the system interface, which I just explained right now. Basically, all of these things are beneficial because because they help me to understand the concepts that we basically learn in the course. And yeah, in conclusion, also I would like to thank our lecturer for providing me with this opportunity to present my demo and presentations. So thank you, and yeah, that's all.